The following may contain language that is not suitable for all audiences. It's time. As I told you before, on one of these days I'm going to find me a fine Russian gal, and that's going to be her ringtone.
That's a great ringtone. From Russia with Love, right?
Yeah, that's the Bond movie it's from.
You and your Bond movies.
I like them and I don't like them at the same time.
So basically you kind of watch them every few years?
I'll watch them whenever they're on. But
Yeah.
I won't go seeking them, which is the funny thing about it. But
I have a bunch of them on my DVR.
Well, yeah, and we don't watch them.
I know. They're just sitting there like taking up space.
But if one came on TV, cut up with commercials, I'd still watch it.
That's like me in the Star Wars movies or Lord of the Rings or Indiana Jones.
You and Lord of the Rings.
Hey man, I did work on it.
So it doesn't mean you have to love it.
I love it. That's why I worked on it, because I love it so much.
Mm.
Do you have a topic?
Not really.
Well, I wanted to put you on the spot on a topic. It's not something you raised as a topic, but
Okay.
You kind of threw out a statement about religious people the other day.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious to know if you were talking about just people that are super, super religious, or are you talking about a certain mindset?
I think it's more of a mindset.
So what is it about the mindset that is problematic for you? The religious mindset.
Well, the funny thing is, it doesn't have to be theological religion.
I mean, you basically said those kind of people like bug you, right?
They do.
And I'm like, well, are you talking about people that are like very have a lot of faith, or are you talking about a certain behavior that quote religious people exhibit?
Well, they both have a lot of faith. I mean, I don't think the faith is the problem. It's the manifestation.
So you're talking about a holier than thou attitude, or are you talking about like a certain like rigidity?
Well, I don't like any kind of rigidity.
Right.
Which now, having said it, sounds a little oddly dirty. But I don't like people. Shit. Now that I think about it, it may just mean I just don't like people.
Well, we've already established this fact.
Oh, we have.
Generally.
Yeah.
But you like people like one-on-one.
Sure.
But you just don't like.
But it's not even
groups of people.
It's not even all of them.
Like you don't really like going to concerts.
Oh shit! Why don't shoot me?
Where there's a bunch of people at the beach.
Yeah.
I don't know, any kind of like a large get together. It seems like.
Yeah, I don't like large get-togethers or.
Maybe you're just like super sensitive.
Explosives.
To people's energies.
Maybe. But and when I say religious, I don't mean merely theological folks. There are people that religiously
worship themselves.
No, they religiously worship society
or government.
No, it's the religious worship. They religiously kiss ass. And is that a term? Is that an actual thing? I know I said it, but now
I think it's new. I've never heard it before, but it kind of makes sense.
But the people who religiously kiss ass, they're going to do well any place they go as long as there's more than 5 people. You put this religious ass kisser on a desert island with nobody, they're going to die. You put this religious ass kisser on a desert island with another person, they're going to hate life. You put this religious ass kisser on a desert island, and there's at least 2,800 people, that person's going to do well. The more people there are, the better that person's going to do. And I dislike those people because I think those people have no real use.
Wow.
Whether that person is a religious is in a theological church, is in a political party, is in a bureaucratic organization, that guy's everywhere. And he can wear lots of hats. And every organization that I just named seems to think that they would change or get rid of that guy. But believe you me, if that guy is Catholic, he's going to end up the Pope.
If that guy's in the company, he's going to end up being the CEO.
Yeah, either him or somebody like him.
Yeah. What the fuck does that say though about
everybody else?
Yeah.
Walking tub of amphibian shit.
I mean,
walking tub of grabastic.
We're gonna make the person in charge.
But that person's not in charge. That's my whole point.
Okay.
Those people are never in charge. The Pope is not in charge of the church. He's supposed to be. And
so it's kind of like the president then?
President is not in charge. President's a tool. President gets used by everybody below him. His gatekeepers and the people feeding him information.
So that just shows you how sick everything is then?
Well, just shows you how needless the president is.
I think it says...
We could have a
It
handshake.
shows you how sick the host is.
I'm sorry. You're going to have to explain that one.
Well, it's like parasites and a cow, right?
Okay.
So basically what we're talking about is now society has got to the point where it's just a bunch of parasites sitting on a host making the host sick.
Well, yeah, but I think not to rain on your parade, but I think things haven't changed that much. This whole idea of things were so much better when I was younger, or things were so much better 100 years ago, or things were so much better when, there were no tools, fill in the blank.
I think I don't agree with that.
That's all. I think that's all BS.
I think things have gotten worse.
I don't think so. It just seems worse because we're older. It just seems worse because we want to do something about it and we can't. It just seems worse because, we've got statistically fewer years ahead of us than we do behind us.
That's scary.
Yeah, but who knows? You could buck the statistics. Part of me wants to live to be like 150 so I can collect Social Security for 70 odd years.
I don't think I'm going to live to be 150.
Actually, part of me wants to live to be 300 so I can collect Social Security for so long that everybody's like, good God, why don't you just die?
300. That's not possible.
Why not? You know what? You know what's impossible?
What?
Something nobody's saying. That's why it's impossible. It's only impossible till you do it.
300 years.
It's highly improbable, yeah.
Dude, I'll eat my fucking shorts if you live 300 years.
I'd probably be dead if I lived 300 years, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Basically, we'd have to live for 300 years. And you know what? I'd make you eat that fucking hat.
I said shorts.
Okay.
Can you eat shorts? I suppose you can.
Depends on what they're made of. If they're made of cotton, why not?
Do you know how long it would take to eat my shorts?
Well, you are a pretty fat guy, so... That's a lot of cotton. That's a lot of fabric there. You sure you want to try to make that bet?
I don't know if this is a good topic or not.
Well, we've kind of gone off the rails.
But yeah, what does that say?
What do you mean? What do you mean, what does that say?
About society.
I don't... okay, I got to unwrap your whole statement.
No, just the idea that we've got essentially useless people.
Well, we're all pretty useless.
But this person that we're talking about, this, example.
Well, that person isn't useless. That person has been bred.
So you didn't say... I thought you said they were useless.
Sure, but they are useless. But so are we all. But he's useless in a certain aspect, but in terms of survival, in terms of getting ahead in the situation that he's going to be burned into, he's not useless. He's a fucking genius. Intrinsically. You know, adaptation and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, what's that stupid quote, never judge.
Never surrender.
No, that's a funny one. That's a different one. But, never
judge a book by its cover.
Never judge the intelligence of a fish by how well it breathes air.
I've never heard that quote before.
It's a takeoff of my whole thing about how stupid people gauge how smart a foreigner is by how well that foreigner speaks that stupid person's native language.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. But it's a use. But the religious ass kisser, I think, is a pretty useless skill. It only becomes useful when there's a group of people.
Which is everywhere now.
Well, it's always been that way, right? Ever since we first started, we were always in little groups.
Yeah.
So, that's and if you go by the theory of evolution, right, the one who survives gets to pass on his genes.
Mm-hmm.
And so that person's adaptation is good or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sitting there going, well, not necessarily. This is where me and Charles disagree. Charles is all like, hey, survival of the fittest. I was like, well, I don't think so, because if it was survival of the fittest, we wouldn't all be this dumb. We wouldn't all be this dumb, unfit, and, whatever, malleable.
Yeah. I think the fittest sometimes get knocked off.
Well, yes.
Because the herd is like, oh, we can't be having this guy around.
Well, not only that, or, hey, you're the fittest, why don't you fight for us?
Yeah.
And the fittest, if the fittest is stupid, and when I say stupid, like, cares more for the group than himself, he's like, okay, I'll protect you.
Yeah. Well, that's what the whole patriotic push, all that stuff about patriotism.
Oh, yeah.
Patriotism, that's what they want.
I hate that bullshit.
They want the good man to, like, buy into that and then essentially die for them.
Well, yeah, they want to sacrifice him, not themselves. And that patriotism rubs me the wrong way.
Well, that's what it's become. I don't know that the idea of patriotism, like, I like the idea of patriotism.
I hate it. I hate the fact.
But you're a patriot.
That's why I hate it. I'm so infected with it. You just need to play the national anthem and say, "There's an enemy coming over."
Dude, you'll salute the flag whenever we're, like, driving around.
So
that makes you a patriot.
Little kids do that too.
But yeah, that's kind of funny that you hate what you are.
Well, don't a lot of people hate what they are?
I don't know. I suppose, yeah, that's probably true.
I forget what I was going to say. Oh yeah, so I've been I just finished listening to the Art of Seduction audiobooks. I'd read them years ago.
You went from the power to the seduction?
Yeah,
what's the guy's name?
Green, Robert Greene or something.
Okay. With an E or no E?
E, with 3 E's.
3 E's, I mean, yeah. An E at the end.
Yes.
Okay.
So, as I was listening to it, I come to realize that basically we're all dumbasses. The populace are a bunch of dumbasses. We basically want to be seduced because you can't seduce someone unless they want to be.
That's true.
That's like the main thing in his book, in The Art of Seduction.
That's the main theme.
Well, that's the before he goes on with the details of, like, you can seduce this way. This is this type of man, this type of woman, this type of whatever, this type of before he goes through his things, the way he goes through them.
You sat and listened to this?
Well, I was playing my video games, my card games.
How long did it take?
Like a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Oddly enough, but I read the book in a night because it's the book, and I can just read stuff.
So when you're listening to the audio, do you absorb more?
No,
because I listened to Hitchhiker's Guide, and it was much better as an audiobook than me reading it. No,
I absorb more if I do it myself, because I like to cut out the middleman. And plus, I'm I'm actually just doing it for background noise that's pleasing.
Okay. So anyway, so coming back to that,
so number one, you can't seduce someone who doesn't want to be seduced.
Mm-hmm.
And so all the information, all the propaganda, all the shit that's going on can be analogized to a seduction. It's not a sexual seduction of one man, one woman, or one woman, one man, but it's a seduction of a group of folks trying to stay whatever, there are people seducing us, the populace, into doing whatever they want and having things the way things are, right? So with things the way they are, the only conclusion that I can come to is we're a bunch of dumbasses because we want this. Now I think of Family Guy where they're like, no, not like this, not like this.
Well,
when I think somebody was about, like, Peter was about to be forced. It was a joke it was like a rape joke.
Okay.
But, it was like, no, not like this. I didn't want it like this. But this is the way things are is the way most of us want it.
Yeah.
Not like this, okay, but we want it to be seduced.
So we want to be fed lies.
Yes.
That makes sense.
We want to be basically taken advantage of.
Because, well, also, who wants to really, it seems like the truth is sometimes the truth is hard to take.
Well, the truth is always kind of boring and hard to take.
So, I guess people are like, lie to me.
Yeah. But the part that always gets me is when it gets found out.
And then they get upset.
Yeah. Why did
Can't
you
believe you lied to me.
Exactly. Like, but you told me to. That's that. Okay, you're like, lie to me. Okay, lie to you. How the hell can you lie to me? You told me to. Well, you should have known that's not what I wanted. Is what
I didn't come right out and say lie to me.
But you're right. Because seduction is really just as a game. It's a game and a dance.
Which I suck at.
Yeah. I was gonna try to pat your back and blow sunshine off your ass, but now that I think, yeah, you actually do. You do suck at seduction.
Dude, I get an F in seduction.
Shit, I'd give you a G if I
could. I wonder why. I blame my parents. I blame both my parents.
I think it's because you just didn't need to.
That's probably right? I mean, you would only have to do it, right? Or be good at it if you're in that situation of necessity.
That's what one hopes, but I kind of enjoy it. The seducing.
Yeah. I don't know why you don't do it more.
Well, because I just enjoy the game part. I don't want to actually do the dating and I don't care about the betting.
But you can also use seduction, like, it's not just about dating, it's about, like, seducing, like, clients and whatever.
Yeah. No, I love it. I do it all the time.
I mean, you're a good salesman. So, I mean, you could say that that's seduction, right? Selling something to somebody?
Sure.
Because you got to figure them out to sell it to them, right?
How
am I going to sell to this person?
I love interacting with people and just kind of like, I love it.
That just reminds me of that story when that guy you met and remember you sold all the shit.
Oh yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, this was just a trial run, I wasn't really like saying that I was going to give you the cut on this stuff. Like next time around, like fuck you."
Yeah, well, he reminded me of
what a schmuck.
Well, he reminded me of the Gil character in The Simpsons. The desperate salesman who just...
There's a character in The Simpsons that's a salesman?
Yeah, his name's Gil. He's like the world's worst salesman.
Okay.
He's just trying to eke out a living so bad it's not even funny. You feel sorry for him because everything always falls apart on him.
Yeah.
He's always trying to get that sale, just trying to get that sale. It's like, oh God! And, he's just this desperate character.
Yep.
I think that guy was kind of at that point in his life.
Wow.
He needed a win.
Yeah, but he could have had lots of wins with you.
Maybe.
That's the funny thing. That's like killing the goose that lays the golden eggs.
Well, most people are more than willing to do that.
That's kind of an irrational thing, though.
Why do people think that we're rational, though? Why do you think that people are rational? I think people are irrational as hell.
Yeah.
Is it rational to start doing drugs? No.
Well, drugs are an escape.
Is it rational to put yourself in front of someone who's about to get hurt, like to protect someone? No. Even if it's like people are like, oh, you know, the mother bear or the cubs. Like, is that rational? Because if you're dead, your cubs are dead.
This is true. So better let the cubs die.
You can have more.
But that's not what the mama bear will do.
That's not what any mother would do.
No.
So, you know.
Or father, for that fucking matter.
If he's a real man.
It's always like the mama. I'm like, well, what about the papa?
Well, the mom has, you know, the biology is pretty much guaranteed that that's what mom's going to do. Biology, she's flooded with hormones.
Yeah.
There's way more attachment because, you know, dudes, I don't know. Okay, it could be my kid, maybe not. I don't know.
You are not the father.
Right, you know, and shoot, I forgot what we were talking about.
I don't think it matters at this point.
You know what? It never really matters. As long as we have a good time. And as long as more people start listening. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yes, you need to start listening.
That's right. I'm nudging and winking at you, podcast listener.
About time. You need to, like if you're enjoying listening to this podcast, tell some people about it, for goodness sakes. Don't just keep it to yourself. I've been thinking about this for a while. Because it pisses me off, right? Because people do that all the time. They're like, oh, I found this thing, but I don't want anyone else to be part of this thing, so I'm not going to tell anybody about it. It's just going to be mine. I'm like, that is not helping us.
You are kind of like a bad salesman.
Really? What, chastising our listeners?
Well, that just reminds me of I'll do one more Simpsons refer.
It pisses me off.
I know it makes it sound like I'd done nothing but watch The Simpsons.
Well, you've watched a lot of Simpsons. You used to watch a lot of Simpsons.
I watch The Simpsons pretty regularly.
You're a Simpsons guy. You're not a South Park guy.
I watched The Simpsons pretty regularly from the time it started till about 2003 or 4. Maybe
that's
5.
A while.
Yeah, so that's like 15, 17 years.
Yeah. And that's the heyday. There's some good shit.
I have not watched The Simpsons since 2008.
Wow. And it's still going.
Yeah. I tried to watch the ones that I missed.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just, ugh.
That time has passed.
Well, I don't know if it's because I'm too old or because, it's really just a mirror of society at large. So, right? But, oh yeah, the part that I was going to say, the episode that I was thinking of was the episode where they had Bart being a boy band and it was basically the Navy just doing subliminal stuff.
Okay.
So, there's like, subliminal, liminal, and superliminal. And Lisa's like, superliminal, what's that? And the Navy guy pokes his head out the window, is like, hey, you, join the Navy. And the two guys, Carl and Lenny, are like, okay. So that's the
superliminal.
That's the picture that came in my head when you're like, you people need to start telling other people about us.
That's a superliminal message.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Superliminal.
But that's your strength, right? The superliminal.
Stating the clearly obvious?
In your face. You need to do this.
Is that would that count as seduction? Not really, right?
I don't know. I guess you can be like an in-your-face seducer.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm trying to think. Why not? Why can't you be an in-your-face seducer? Hey,
do you want me?
Come to bed with me now. Take your clothes off.
I don't think that's seduction. I think that's just
rape.
Oh. That's the like when we're trying to when we become, what is it? Significant, culturally significant.
Uh-huh.
That's the little soundbite that they're going to take.
Oh.
Of us saying rape and laughing about it.
Oh, speaking of which, Bill Cosby. I heard on the radio as I was on my way.
Is he in jail?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
As I was on my way to the gym, because there's an AM show that I really like. I like the guy that reads the news because he's just.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He's just funny. I think it's Randy Wang.
Okay. Chinese dude?
I have no idea. If he's ethnically Chinese, he was born and raised here because he sounds like your average, American kid.
Yeah.
But I've always liked him. But what clinched it for me was over the summer, not this summer, last summer, maybe a couple summers ago, when nobody really cared about baseball. And like somebody won the World Series, is like, yeah, so and so won the World Series, and nobody cares.
Oh, excuse me.
But he just the tone of his voice and his intonations are kind of like just the smart athlete kid that doesn't really care about anything.
Yeah.
But as I was driving, I caught a bit of something that said like Bill Cosby has another accuser, and I was like, wow. And then I found out when it's from. It's like from the 70s.
The accuser.
The incident, the alleged incidents from the 70s, the 1970s.
And they waited.
Well,
50 years.
Without going through anything, it just made me immediately think of statute of limitations, and I was just like, because did they just up the statute of limitations on rape?
I don't know. That wouldn't surprise me if they changed it.
Yeah, me neither. But I was just like, ah.
How long is the statute of limitations?
Depends.
Depends
on the crime.
Yeah.
You know how I used to remember statute of limitations for law school?
How?
SOL, and the acronym for SOL was?
Shit out of luck.
That's right.
You're shit out of luck.
Yep. You pass this time, you're shit out of luck.
SOL. I like the expression shit out of luck.
Me too.
But I don't want to ever be shit out of luck.
Well, you probably won't be. Don't commit any crimes, and don't go superliminal on your seductions.